My girlfriend kept forgetting to add me to her Instagram, but posted daily about her single girl life. When I asked about it, she called me weirdly obsessive and said, "Not everything has to be about you." I didn't say a word, just walked away. 10 days later, she showed up at my door with her mom begging me to talk. "Before we start, I just want to say thank you for being here. It means the world. But take a look at this. Only 8% of people watching are subscribed. If you enjoy these stories and want to support more of them, just one click makes a huge difference." I've never been big on social media. At 41, I'm from that generation that remembers life before smartphones. I have accounts, sure, but I post maybe once a month, usually pictures of my restored 67 Mustang or the custom furniture I build in my workshop. My life happens in the real world, not online. Qley was different. 15 years younger, she lived and breathed Instagram. When we met 8 months ago at a mutual friend's barbecue, I was attracted to her energy, her laugh, the way she seemed genuinely interested in my boring stories about woodworking and classic cars. She was beautiful, yes, but it was her apparent authenticity that drew me in. The first couple of months were great. We'd go hiking, try new restaurants, spend weekends at my cabin by the lake. I introduced her to my friends, my brother and his family, even took her to dinner at my parents' house. She seemed to fit in perfectly, charming everyone with her quick wit and warm smile. But I started noticing something odd. Despite taking dozens of photos whenever we were together, Qley never posted any that included me. Her Instagram remained filled with solo shots, girls' nights out, and carefully staged photos of food, sunsets, and cocktails. The captions often referenced her single girl adventures or independent life. At first, I didn't think much of it. Social media wasn't my thing, and maybe she wanted to keep some parts of her life private. But as weeks turned into months, it became impossible to ignore, especially when I overheard her friends teasing her about her secret boyfriend. At a party, "He's not secret," she'd laughed. "I just keep my personal life offline." Yet her personal life seemed to be entirely online, except for me. She documented everything from her morning coffee to her bedtime skincare routine. Everything except the man she was supposedly in a relationship with. It came to a head last month. We'd spent a perfect Sunday together. Farmer's market in the morning, then I taught her how to use my lathe to make a small wooden bowl, followed by dinner at a new bistro downtown. She took dozens of photos throughout the day, including several selfies of us together that I thought were quite good. That night at my place, while she was in the shower, a notification popped up on her iPad, which was charging on the coffee table. A comment from someone named Caitlin, "Living your best single life, so jealous." Curious, I glanced at the screen. Qley had posted a series of photos from our day, the farmer's market, the wooden bowl, the cocktail from dinner, but none that showed me. The caption read, "Sunday Fun Day Adventures. Single girl summer, living my best life." When she came out of the shower, I decided to just ask directly. "Hey, I noticed your Instagram post about today. You used hashtags about being single?" She immediately got defensive. "Were you snooping through my phone?" "No, I saw a notification on your iPad when it lit up. I was just surprised to see you calling today a single girl adventure when we spent it together." "It's just hashtags, Derek. They're for engagement. It's not that deep." She rolled her eyes, grabbing her iPad and pulling it away from me. "But you never post photos of us together," I pointed out. "In 8 months, not a single one. And you post every day, multiple times." "Not everything has to be about you," she snapped. "God, you're being weirdly obsessive about this. It's just social media. Who cares?" "I wouldn't, except you're actively presenting yourself as single online. That doesn't bother you?" "What bothers me is you making this into some big dramatic thing. It's my Instagram. I'll post what I want. Why are you so insecure?" There it was. The deflection, the turning of tables, making me the problem for simply asking a reasonable question. I'd seen this pattern before, though I'd tried to ignore it. Anytime I raised a concern, no matter how gently, I was too sensitive or overreacting. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. I just nodded, stood up, and walked to the door. "Where are you going?" she demanded. "Home. This is my home. You should probably go to yours." "You're kicking me out? Over Instagram?" Her voice rose in disbelief. "No, Qley, not over Instagram. Over respect, honesty, and the fact that you seem to want to live two separate lives, one with me and one where I don't exist." "You're being ridiculous," she said, but she was already gathering her things. "Maybe," I said, "but I'm too old for games." She left in a huff, slamming the door behind her. Within an hour, my phone was blowing up with texts. "You're seriously overreacting. It's just social media. I can't believe you're this insecure. Call me when you grow up." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I did something I probably should have done months earlier. I looked deeper into her online presence. What I found was eye-opening. Not only was she presenting herself as single on Instagram, but she had active dating profiles on 2 different apps. Recent ones, with photos taken in my house, wearing a necklace I'd given her for her birthday. I recognized the apps immediately because my younger brother had shown them to me months ago when he was single. Out of curiosity back then, I'd created profiles to see how they worked, though I'd never actually used them. This familiarity made it easy to search for Qley's profiles using details I already knew: her age, location, and career. Within minutes, I found her on both platforms, with profiles that had been updated just days earlier. There were also dozens of messages with a guy named Ryan, filled with flirtatious exchanges and plans to meet up. Based on the timestamps, she'd been texting him while lying next to me in bed. I felt a cold calm settle over me. No anger, just clarity. I screenshotted everything, then blocked her number, her social media accounts, her email, every possible way she could contact me. I didn't send the screenshots to her. Didn't confront her, just silently closed the door on whatever we'd had. Then I called my bank and canceled the reservation I'd made for her birthday at the high-end resort she'd been hinting about for months. Got back my $2,200 deposit. Canceled the custom jewelry piece I'd commissioned. Returned the designer handbag I'd already purchased. The next day, I changed the access code to my home security system. She'd had the code since month 3 of our relationship when she started occasionally staying over, and the password to my Netflix and Hulu accounts. Small things, but satisfying. What I didn't do was make any public statements or engage in online drama. I simply disappeared from her life as completely as she'd kept me out of her online one. 3 days passed, then 5. A week. No contact, though I heard from mutual friends that she was telling everyone I'd had some kind of psychotic break over social media. I didn't defend myself, didn't need to. On day 10, my doorbell rang. When I checked the security camera, I saw Qley standing there with an older woman who looked like an aged-up version of her, clearly her mother, whom I'd never met despite 8 months of dating. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity got the better of me, so I opened the door but remained blocking the entrance. "Derek, please," Qley started, her eyes red from crying. "You have to let me explain. This is my mom, Patricia. She wanted to meet you." Patricia stepped forward, extending her hand. "I'm so sorry we're meeting under these circumstances. Qley's told me so much about you." "Has she?" I replied, not taking the offered hand. "That's interesting, considering she's never mentioned me to anyone online. In fact, she's been actively presenting herself as single while we were together." Patricia's eyes widened slightly as she turned to look at her daughter. "You said this was just a misunderstanding about some photos." "It is," Qley insisted. "Derek's blowing everything out of proportion. He saw some stupid hashtags and freaked out." I pulled out my phone, opened the screenshots I'd taken, and handed it to Patricia. Dating profiles, messages with other men, posts explicitly stating she's single while we were in a committed relationship, or so I thought. Patricia's face fell as she scrolled through the evidence. "Oh, Qley, those are private?" Qley tried to grab the phone, but her mother held it away. "Not when they're publicly available on dating apps," I pointed out, "or when you're making plans to meet other men while in my bed." Patricia handed my phone back, her expression a mix of embarrassment and disappointment. "I think we should go, Qley." "No, Derek, please. I made a mistake. Those profiles were old, I just forgot to delete them. And Ryan is just a friend. The Instagram thing is just for my brand. I'm trying to build a following, and single girl content performs better." "Your brand," I repeated flatly. "Well, congratulations. Your brand is doing great. Your relationship, however, is over." As I moved to close the door, Patricia put her hand out. "Wait, please. I understand you're hurt, but With all due respect, Patricia, this isn't about being hurt. It's about self-respect. Your daughter didn't just make a mistake. She deliberately maintained a double life for 8 months and then tried to make me feel crazy for questioning it. That's not someone I want in my life, regardless of how I feel about her. I closed the door gently but firmly, then watched on the security camera as Patricia led a sobbing Qley back to their car. As they pulled away, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. That evening, my phone started blowing up again, this time with messages from Qley's friends, calling me heartless for humiliating her in front of her mother. Apparently, Patricia had been so disturbed by what she saw that she'd insisted on driving Qley straight home rather than to the lunch they'd planned to celebrate fixing things. I didn't respond to any of these messages either. Instead, I sent a single text to our mutual friend Jason, who had introduced us. You might want to check out Qley's Instagram, #SingleGirlSummer. Then compare the dates of those posts with the times you saw us together as a couple. Within hours, the story had spread through our social circle. The friends who had been texting me angry messages suddenly went quiet. Jason called to apologize for introducing us, saying he'd had no idea she was that kind of person. 2 weeks later, I received a certified letter from Qley containing a handwritten apology and a check for $2,200, exactly the amount of the resort deposit I'd lost and managed to get refunded. The letter explained that she'd heard about the canceled reservation from Jason, who'd mentioned the specific amount when filling her in on everything she'd lost through her deception. I tore up the check and sent it back with a brief note. My silence isn't for sale. A month has passed now. Through mutual friends, I've heard that Qley's brand has taken a hit. Turns out, many of her followers were drawn to her authentic single girl lifestyle content, and the revelation that it was all fabricated while she was in a relationship damaged her credibility. Several sponsorship deals apparently fell through. Her mother, to her credit, reached out separately to apologize for her daughter's behavior and for their intrusion that day. I responded politely but briefly, wishing them both well, but making it clear that chapter of my life was closed. As for me, I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. I finished restoring the Mustang, took a solo road trip up the coast, and have started dating again, a woman I met at a furniture exhibition who actually asked to take a photo with me for her Instagram on our second date. Sometimes, walking away without a word says everything that needs to be said. And sometimes, the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about getting free. Edit, this blew up overnight. To answer some common questions. 1. Yes, I know I should have seen the red flags sooner. When someone keeps their relationship completely off social media while documenting every other aspect of their life, that's suspicious. Lesson learned. 2. No, I didn't leak her dating profiles to everyone. I showed her mother because she came to my house uninvited, claiming there was just a misunderstanding about some photos. The information spread from there because, well, the truth tends to do that. 3. For those asking about the age gap, yes, 15 years is significant. But Qley is 26, not 16. She's a grown woman capable of making her own decisions, not some naive young girl I manipulated. 4. The resort deposit wasn't the point. It was the principle. I don't want or need her money. 5. Several people have asked if the new woman knows about all this. Yes, I've been upfront about what happened, starting with honesty this time. Update. 3 months later, life has a funny way of coming full circle. Remember that custom jewelry piece I mentioned canceling? It was a bracelet with coordinates engraved on it, the location of the lake where I first told Qley I loved her. When I canceled the order, the jeweler asked if he could still create the piece since he'd already begun work on it. I agreed, but asked him to change the coordinates to my parents' lake house where I spent summers growing up. Last weekend, I gave that bracelet to Diane, the woman I mentioned meeting at the furniture exhibition. We've been dating exclusively for almost 3 months now. She posts about our relationship on her social media, which I still rarely check. But more importantly, she introduces me to everyone in her life as her boyfriend, online and off. Qley eventually sent a more substantial apology letter, acknowledging that her behavior was manipulative and dishonest. No check this time, just accountability. I appreciated that and sent a brief response, wishing her well and genuine growth. Her Instagram has changed dramatically. Fewer posts, more reflective captions, no more single girl hashtags. I'm not following her, but mutual friends have mentioned the shift. Apparently, she's done some serious soul searching. Good for her. As for her mother, Patricia sent me a holiday card with a thoughtful note about second chances and growth. I respect her for standing up for what's right, even when it meant confronting her daughter's lies. The irony isn't lost on me that this whole situation started because I wasn't included in someone's carefully curated online life, and now I'm with someone who proudly features me in hers. But the real difference isn't about Instagram posts, it's about integrity, transparency, and mutual respect. Some lessons are expensive, but necessary. For both of us, it seems.